So if we have time pa for we'll try and either we end the session early. If not, you may want to, at least for Sister Pinky and Maylord, if you guys want to, create this project while we're online, no, and ask me questions, let's do that. We can do that, no? Since it's the last day anyway. Then, but I know it's a Saturday. It's a weekend. Dapat pahinga na tayo. I know. So, we'll make sure na we get to learn as fast as possible. Okay. So, colors. Alright. So, colors tayo. I'll just minimize the webcam para I get to easily see you guys. Okay. So, since day 2, or yeah, as early as day 2, no, we've seen some objects, no. We've actually identified na this is a path. It's also called an object, no. It's a line art. When we go Control Y or yung outline preview, no? So, this is your outline. It has a fill. This part is a fill and a stroke, no? So, lahat ng drawing natin, no? So, anything that you draw in Adobe Illustrator will always have these two attributes, okay? A fill and a stroke, which is basically the outline of your object or your line. Okay. Now, when I say na it will always have a fill and a stroke, does it mean na kailangan laging may color? Hindi naman. Pero lagi lang silang merong ganong attributes, which you can decide to apply a color or not. Okay. So, let's say, we talked about ito, kailangan kung ano yung nasa ibabaw, that's your active attribute that you can change, right? Whatever is underneath is not active. So, basta kung ano yung nasa ibabaw, no? That's gonna be what you are going to change at the moment. Okay, so you have your stroke, you have your fill, all right? So, let's say I want to remove the color of the fill, okay? So, I just make sure that this is on top. I can simply click on this, none, or yung shortcut na slash, no? So, none, all right? Using the selection tool, no? If I click here sa middle, hindi ko siya ma-select. So, I've seen this happening with one of your, or if not everyone, no? Na parang minsan, students have difficulty in moving things around, no? It's because you don't have a fill in the middle. Okay? Kaya hindi siya ma-move. Alright? So, what I do is I just select the path and click drag. Okay? So, again, kapag walang fill, hindi mo siya ma-move. Wala siyang ma-select kasi walang laman. Alright? What else? This one is swap the fill and stroke colors, no? This one is your default fill and stroke, which is actually white for the fill and then black. Kung gusto lang natin ng very easy way to revert back to the default settings, no? So you can of an object. So you can just click this. Okay. This one is always the last or the most current color. No? So you can choose this as a solid color. If you want to start applying a gradient, so a gradient is a smooth gradation of color. So it can be multiple colors, it can be full opaque to translucent or transparent. So ito siya, gradient. And it will apply just the default one, which is black to white. Okay, yan. Alright, then again, yung none. Alright. So let me go back to the default. Alright. Now, some of you, so we've tried yung eyedropper, no? Copying another object's color or appearance. Okay. Now, sometimes we had to change colors No, we tested that out, especially yesterday. No, I think some of you tried the blend tool and then tried to also change the color. No, there are a couple of ways to to change the color, okay, or apply colors. There's at least 8 as of last year. Okay, there are 8 ways of applying color. So one is you can double click on either the fill or the stroke, and that will make the color picker appear. And most of you actually did this, probably because you're more comfortable or you've used Photoshop before. So, yan, no? So, select ka, to change mo dito, no? You can use this spectrum and then select a color. You can type in the values, okay, if there are specific values, especially when you work with clients, no, companies, institutions. Normally they would have company branding with approved set of colors. So they may give you the actual values or the actual names of the swatches that you are supposed to use. Okay, when you click here, no, ito naman yung color swatches natin. Okay, whatever you see here is the same as your swatches panel. Ayan. The swatches panel. So when you double click here, no, you go here. Again, ito can also be accessed in as a panel over here. Okay. All right. So you can choose a different color. Right. Okay. Now on top of that, you also have the color panel. All right. Where again you can type in the values. No, it's more simplified as opposed to here. No, may ganito ka pa, may additional options ka pa here. No, but here it's simplified. It's showing us CMYK fields or spectrum simply because if I take a look at my this tab, no, where I have my file name displayed, yung magnification niya, at what level are you actually viewing the document. Ayan o, naka CMYK mode tayo. That's why it's showing us CMYK. So you can use the sliders. You can type in the values here. No, you can use this. All right, and you can change, no, if you don't want CMYK but instead you want RGB colors, no, or options, then you can switch using the context menu, which is over here. Okay, you can also swap the fill and stroke over here, which is also accessible here. So sobrang daming ways, no, to be able to achieve something in Illustrator. There's multiple ways of doing it. It's just a question of which one are you comfortable with. Okay, so you can use the color panel. No, so far we've demonstrated one. This is one way of applying the color picker. 2, 3. No, you can also apply gradients using this. 4. You have the color guide. 5. Color guide. So color guide is for people who have trouble blending colors or matching colors up when it comes to designing an artwork. So like me, my background is, well, I graduated with a major in behavioral sciences. So, hindi ako fine arts graduate, hindi ako multimedia arts graduate. Wala pang multimedia nung panahon ko. So, so wala akong alam sa yung design principles, no? So, I did not learn that in school. Okay. And I learned how to use the Illustrator when I started working. Okay, so yung mga harmony rules, wala akong alam dyan. So that's where color guide can help you. no, using a primary color or a selected color, it would automatically make some combinations for you, which are harmony rules. So merong compound, you have complementary, you have complementary to. There's a couple of set of colors that you can display and make use of. No? So you can just simply select on a color. Yan. Okay. Yan. Alright. And when you're happy with it, and then you can go to the next object. So yeah. Okay. Question so far? None? Okay. So another way of coloring an object is by selecting the object. So laging ang illustrator, kailangan sasabihan mo si illustrator, ano ba ang gusto mong galawin? Ano ba ang gusto mong i-edit? What do you want me to do? And which object are you pertaining to? Ganun siya. So you always have to select the object. So select the object. When you select the object on top, no, on your control bar or your options bar, you will see these two buttons, no. So you have your fill, which actually displays the swatches that are available here. Sabi sa inyo, parang ang daming, kung saan mo siya makikita, sumusulpot. And then you can also change the stroke color here, no? With the swatches, you have what we call, it doesn't only handle solid colors, but you may also have gradients in place. You can also have pattern swatches, no? Like this. Ay, naka-stroke pala. Sa stroke pala siya dapat. Kaya hindi niya pala. Ito. Yung mga ganyan, no? So you can create tiles, you can create patterns, no? Using the swatches. It's something that we won't be covering in the basics because that's actually part of the advanced class. How to customize. Okay, so how to customize. So again, with swatches, it doesn't only handle solid colors, but it also handles gradients and pattern swatches, no? Such as this. Okay. Pattern swatches are also applicable on stroke, no? Although kasi kapag manipis yung stroke, hindi mo masyado kita. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Now, there are also other ways of coloring, no? There's also other ways of coloring. So remember yesterday we actually created the Philippine flag. And then I asked Sophia, so how are you going to start creating the flag? So sabi ni Sophia, I'll make a rectangle. Okay. And then I will create a triangle. No? And then put it on the side. Right. So, and then there was a question na, okay, so how do you make the top part blue? Diba? Yun yung tanong natin yesterday. So, how do we make the top part blue and red naman yung bottom part? Sabi ni Sophia, we'll try to create a line. No? So, yun yung ano natin. No? So, maybe we'll add a line. Okay, so we'll add a line. So what I said was, no, diba? We have to create, we actually have to create two rectangular shapes para identify. Kasi remember, there's what do you call this? There's a single, an object can only handle a single color. Okay, by principle, that is very, very true. Okay. But what I did not tell you guys yet is there is a tool called Live Paint Bucket. Okay. Live Paint Bucket. So Live Paint Bucket works like this. It's like an effect. Okay. So it basically just simulates what it would look like. Pero in reality, the way it's constructed is different. Okay, so let me show you what I actually mean by that. So let's say I have I have 3 overlapping rectangular shapes. Okay, so 3 objects. Okay, so if we were to identify, so if we were to, so if we were to identify, no, how many parts I can color, tatanong tayo, no? Tatanong tayo. So, these 3 objects, ilang parts, ilang individual parts can I actually color? 6. So, this is 1. 3. Sige. So, let's try, no? So, let's change this to yellow. Let's change this to green. Ano ba yan? Blue yata. Ayan. And then, let's change this to red. Okay. So, in a normal scenario, 1, 2, 3 objects, no? So, 3 individual objects. In terms of coloring, 3 lang ang magagawa ko. Okay. But what if I want to color all the overlapping parts, which is ito. So, do you see this? At this one? Okay. This one, 1. This one, 2.
Yes.
This one. Do you see my screen? I'm putting
Yes.
numbers. Okay.
Yep.
And then this one is 4. Okay. So, what if I want to color, no? Yung mga parts na yan. Can I do that? Okay. So, let me clear my, my drawing. Okay. Can I do that? So, I'll try the direct selection. No? So, no, diba? So, ayan, no? Ayaw niya, right? Because it selects these objects. Now, introducing the live paint bucket. Yes, the live paint bucket. So, ang key is, first step, select the set of objects, okay, that you want to change colors. No? Maganda dito is pag may mga overlaps, no? Or may mga divisions. Okay? So, select all these objects, click on the live paint bucket. Okay? Now, when you mouse over the selected objects, no? When you mouse over, this is what happens, no? Yung cursor natin, what does it say, Maylord?
Ano po yun?
Anong nakasulat sa sa cursor?
Click to make a live paint group.
Correct. So, click to make a live paint group. So, it's telling you, i-click mo yan para maging live paint group siya. Okay. So, I'll click that. Alright. So, this time, nakita niyo? Okay. So, this time, no, naklik ko siya. So, it became a live paint group. So, again, live paint group. When I mouse over without clicking, no, it highlights na and recognizes all the overlapping objects. Yeah? So, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 parts that I can color differently. Okay? So, let's say I choose a gradient. Sorry. I can choose a gradient for this part. So, let's say I'll change this to red, to black. Okay? So, I choose a color, click on black, and click here. Ganon siya. O, diba? Saya-saya. And then, let's say I want to change this to a different color. So, let's say, actually, pink. Ayan, ganon siya. Okay. Now with this, you also have mga this other tool which is under the light pink bucket, no? So you are allowed to select an object. Ano ba yun? Mali pala yung ano pa, switch ko. Ayan. Let me expand nga para hindi ako malito. Yan, okay. So I can choose to select this. No, this one. I can choose to select this, and then I want to say change the direction of the gradient. Ayun pala. Okay. Hindi na pala kailangan. Before kasi kailangan to. Okay. So you can choose to change the direction even not without the ano pala, the live selection tool. Ayan. So using the gradient tool, you can adjust it. Okay. So let's try if this also works with a pattern swatch. Oh, it works. Nice. Okay. Now, what happens? Let's try if it actually works. What happens when I attempt to adjust an object? See? So, automatic, nag-a-adjust then the rest of the parts of the light pink group. No? It adjusted the colors for you quite easily. Yan. Okay. Okay. Yan. So that's another way of doing that. Okay. But if you take a look at, hindi pala. Okay na pala yun. Yan. So that's your advantage, no? That's the advantage of a live paint bucket. It's a live, it almost behaves like a live effect, meaning you can adjust each of the elements or the individual elements, and automatically see Illustrator will try and interpret the changes that you have made in terms of movement, in terms of size, and then it will adjust the colors accordingly. Okay? So, yan. So, you have your live paint bucket, no? At saka live paint selection. So, live paint selection, it just allows you to select it. Before, it's being used for gradients, but somehow, I think that's a more recent update that allows you to just adjust the gradient without selecting it anymore. Okay. It automatically identifies the gradient. Okay. All right. So here, what we can do is select everything and then click on live paint bucket. So actually, almost magiging true na ang sinabi mo, Sophia, yesterday. Nagagawa ka lang ng line. Yan.
Yeah.
So ayan na siya. Right? So you can change it to green. Green talaga. Blue dapat. Blue. Ayan. And then red at the bottom. To make your life easier. Yun. Okay. So, how do you decide when to use the live paint group, or when to convert your objects to live paint group versus just creating the individual shapes? It's a question of what is your target output, and also if you foresee na, let's say you want to make changes in this section without making any adjustments here, then that would require you to actually require you to retain two individual objects instead. kumbaga, kailangan carefully plan yung artwork nyo. If you can draw some sketch, way better. If, ako ang best practice ko lagi is individual objects rather than live paint bucket. Kasi, once you make a change in one section, for example, you want to move this here, no? Pero you want to retain yung line here. Parang gusto mo lang i-cut, no? Itong section na to. Okay, and you want to retain itong red part, no? Pag minove mo siya, ganyan na mangyayari. Pero if it was created by using two individual shapes, then it's better. So, for me, before I even start a project, no, even as simple as a logo, I always think of what are the tools or what are the things that I need to be able to create that artwork. So I think of what's the easiest way to do it, what are the available tools, am I looking at possibly changing certain elements. That's part of planning. No, para bago mo pa hawakan yung Adobe Illustrator mo, nag-iisip ka na kung paano siya gagawin. Alright. Questions so far? None? Alright. Okay. So yesterday, I was demonstrating, no, before I forget, no. So, I was demonstrating the width tool. So, we tried the pen tool and we use the width tool to click drag, no, and modify para medyo calligraphic yung style, no. And then what didn't work yesterday was kasi sabi ko all the paths applicable siya, no. So here using the paintbrush, no, I click on this and it doesn't allow me to do that. Why? Simply because you have a brush defined. So kapag merong preset na brush na ginamit for the paintbrush, which is here, no? So as long as you have this path selected, it's this one. So brush definition. If you have a brush selected, the width tool will not work simply because it's actually a preset. It has to go back to basics before it will allow you to use the width tool. Okay, you cannot apply on a brush. Okay, kasi you cannot modify na that brush with the width tool. So yun lang yung naging restriction. So medyo tricky lang siya. Okay. Now, when it comes to so babalik tayo sa object, paulit-ulit na kung dito sa object, no. So you have fill, you have the fill, and you have your stroke. Okay. I will make my appearance panel appear. Okay. Yan. So your appearance panel shows us almost some bits, but in a simplified manner, some bits of the properties of an object. So every time you have an object selected, no, it will tell you na it's a path. The stroke is this, no, so you have black for the stroke, and then the thickness of the stroke. Okay, you have the fill, no, which is here. Okay, so ang stroke natin, no, pwede nating i-change yung thickness up to 100 points. No? Yan. Kaya ba niya ng more than 100? Let's see. Yes, kaya. Okay. Alright. So, you have presets kung gagamitin natin the drop-down menu. Okay. Or you can type in the values here, no, to adjust the thickness. Okay. Alright. So, 10 points. Yan, okay. If you see this, it means there's parang you can expand it, okay? And it will tell you what the opacity is, okay? So you can change this to say, when you click on the word opacity, Okay, you can change the opacity to a different value. All right, so 15%, 54%. There are different kinds of blending modes then. That's also something that you can change. All right. But for this class, no, I'm just gonna show you yung opacity lang. As simple as where you can find it and where you can change it. So on top, you have stroke. Weight then, no? Thickness of the stroke. You can also change here. Same as this one. Kung change mo dito, 3 point, automatic in your appearance panel, it will also change to 3 points. So, again, there are parang may mga sumusulpot na the same ano lang, function or feature. Your opacity is also here, no? And then your stroke. Now, question. So, an object, no? Does an object have a single stroke and a single fill? No. You can create multiple fills and multiple strokes. Okay, so let me introduce you to that. So I'll select the stroke here, no? Click on duplicate selected item. So gawa tayo ng apat. No, okay. So this object, if I take a look at the appearance, no, it will tell me na I have 4 strokes applied to this. Ano ang advantage or what's the advantage of having 4 strokes? So let me demonstrate what it may look like and what's nice about it. Okay, so let's say I change this to 50. Okay, and then I'll change this to 25, no? Yung stacking order niya is the same as yung sa layers, no? The one on the top of the appearance panel is the one that's the topmost object on your visuals, no, on your screen. Okay, so let's change this to say 10. Okay, appearance panel to and then this one is, sige, retain natin to 3. Okay, so let's change the color to red. Let's change this color to yellow. Retain this to black. This one, let's change to white. Okay, and this is the effect that you get. Okay, now how many objects do I have? Just one. Let's take a look at the outline. So yun lang, single object, but it created this very nice pattern, no, along the stroke, no, or the outline of the object. Okay, you can do the same thing for fill. So we can select this and then duplicate. No, you can change this to white, retain it to white, change this to, let's say, one pattern, change this to blue, change this to, wag na lang to, sobra na yata, delete na lang. Yan, okay. Now you can, hindi pala ako nag-select, ano ba yan? So select ulit, yan, select. So, ulitin ko ulit. Let's duplicate 3, retain white, change this to a pattern, change this to a color. Okay, yan. Now I expand, let's say, the topmost fill. Okay, change the opacity to, say, 50%. That's what you get. No? I'll hide this. I'll hide this first, no? Ayan talaga yung pattern. Balik ko ulit si blue, but I changed the opacity, no? So, ayan siya. This is also what's nice about the appearance, no? Or having multiple fills. You can choose a fill or a stroke and apply an effect. Okay? So, let's say, black. So let's say we select the second stroke and then go effect. And then there's also a nice effect under stylize, it's called scribble. Okay. So we click on preview. So ayun siya, may scribble effect siya. See? Ganda. Okay, yun. Now this stroke, no, let's try changing. I select natin yung object. I might forget. Always select the object. Click on stroke. Okay. Here, you can change the weight among anything, any other thing pa. And then you click on dashed line. So yun na, naging dash siya. So you can create dashed lines. 5. Ayan. Ayan. So, ganda. No? Okay. I can also apply a scribble effect on this particular field. So, go up. Effect, stylize, scribble. Can click on preview. Ay, ano ba yan? Hindi ko na naman na-select. Select. Key is select. Select the object. Go apply, scribble. Click on preview. Let's make it childlike. And then let's zoom in. Ayun. So, ang blue natin, the blue fill, has a scribble effect applied to it. No? But if you take a look at it, at first glance, parang ang busy niya. Parang ang dami-dami mong ginawa dyan sa object na yan. It seems to be like multiple objects that's overlapping each other. But in reality, if I take a look at the outline, it's just a box, an object, a single object. Okay. All right. Now, let's say it took you 30 minutes to be able to achieve this kind of look, okay? So if I take a look at my appearance panel, no, I have 4 strokes, I have 3 fills, no? And then after 30 minutes, you save the file, no? And then the following day, your client liked it and then wants you to apply it in all other objects in the poster. Parang ganun. Ay, gagawin mo ba ulit yan? 30 minutes ang 30 minutes? Kokopyahin natin ang kokopyahin? I-note ba natin siya? Do we have to list it down in the notebook? What we have done with this particular look? No, I have 4 strokes, 3, 10, 20, 50, 3 fills. Ito yung mga effects yung ginamit natin. No, you don't even have to memorize. Okay. What you can actually do is, let's see if it works with an eyedropper. Select natin to, use the eyedropper, click here, ay ayaw. So, pupunta tayo, or we're going to get introduced to another panel, which is called the graphic styles. Okay, this one, the graphic styles. So, if we take a look at the graphic styles, it looks like, or it's similar to the swatches panel, no? All you have to do, guys, is click drag this towards the graphic styles. Parang ginawa natin sa symbols, no? Yung number 8, we simply click drag, no? It copies the number 8, no, na symbol into the panel. You do the same. If you have an object that has a lot of effects, multiple fills, multiple strokes, different stroke width, ganyan. You can select that object, drag it to the graphic styles. So you have appearance and then you have graphic styles. So if I delete this, no, and then I create, let's say, an ellipse shape, okay, and I want to apply the same no, set of effects, multiple fills, multiple strokes, and then your effects. Select the object and then click on the one that you drag in the graphic styles. And it applies it there. Okay, yan. So you can keep on saving, play around with it, you know, you're happy with how it looks, save it in the graphic styles. Okay. Is this available all the time, even if you're creating a new document or you're transferring to another computer? Okay. Best practice would be to always save your library. So this is called a library. So you save it as a graphic style library. So that's your best practice. No, para every time you open a new document or you're transferring from one computer to another, then it will always be accessible for you. Okay, so same then if you have customized swatches, no, you can always save swatch library. Okay, all right. Questions so far? Okay, so we introduced two, just do a quick recap now before we continue with our exercise. No, so we've seen a couple of ways of applying color. We learned that an object is not limited to a single fill or a single stroke, but rather it can handle multiple strokes and fills. No, you can change the width of the stroke. No, you can also expand the stroke panel. No, change the opacity of either the fill or the stroke. We introduced the appearance panel and the graphic styles. You can save the graphic an object into the graphic style so it retains all the effects and the attributes that you wish to use in the future. Okay. Now, in our exercise, okay, let me pause for a quick moment. Okay, good.
Ma'am, no.
Yes.
Yung sa pen tool po, pwede pong paggamitin ng sabay yung blob brush tsaka pen tool.
Paano? What do you have in mind?
Di po ba yung sa yung blob brush parang pwede niyo siyang i-deform yung line?
Yes. So sige, go ahead.
Then pwede po bang like naka-pen tool po kayo tapos blob brush yung strokes?
Hindi.
Hindi po.
Kasi ang blob brush is, okay, so when you start creating when you're creating your path using the pen tool, initially that's an open path, no? Unless you close it. Okay. So when you use this, so pag nag-click ka, okay, ano lang yan, path lang yan, no? Open path lang yan. Unless i-close mo, which is you go to the first point that you created. So when you mouse over, merong circle yung cursor mo sa baba, lower right-hand side, it means that it's going to close the path. Whereas, si blob brush, closed path siya, nagdo-drawing. So, if you're, ang gusto mong subukan gawin, Maylord, is to try and continue drawing using the pen tool. You cannot.
Opo.
Hindi. Kailangan blob brush din. Pero kung kunyari gusto mong blob brush din. Pero let's say gusto mo siyang if you want to edit, no, if you want to edit a particular point, you can use the pen tool. Pag ginamit mo yung pen tool, ang gagawin lang niya dun sa blob object mo or the the object that you created with a blob brush, when you mouse over a point, an existing point, merong minus sign. Okay, you see that minus sign. So when you click that point, it deletes that point altogether. So you can mouse over a point, delete mo. Mouse over this, delete lang niya yung point. If you mouse over an object created using the blob brush along a path, so mouse over, nagkakaroon ng plus sign. What the pen tool will only do is add a point there for you to be able to edit. Yun yung magiging behavior ni pen tool. Okay? But if you want to continue drawing na magko-connect pa rin siya dun sa object na to that was created by the blob brush, hindi siya magko-connect. You will just need to continue using the blob brush. No. Pero maganda sa paintbrush, blob brush at saka pencil is you can adjust the brush size, which is yung left and right brackets. Left and right brackets on your keyboard. No, para kumapal, lumiit yung brush stroke mo. Yan. Ganun siya. Yan siya. Okay. Did I answer your question, Maylord?
Ay, opo.
Okay. Sige.
May question pa po ako, isa pa.
Yes.
Meron po ba sa AI na predictive stroke?
Can you describe?
Para pong i-smoothen na yung curves pag nagpipaint po kayo using brush.
Okay. So, actually meron. So, pero sa advanced toolbar siya. Ito. When you have your toolbar set to advanced mode, you'll have additional tools. So, you have at least 80 tools talaga in Adobe Illustrator. So, let's say you create a line using paintbrush. And then, you can use the smooth tool. Tapos, i-click drag yung motion niya. Tapos, i-try niya i-adjust sa'yo. So, select natin. Again, you have to tell Illustrator if you want to select. Ayan siya, no? So, ito. Ayan, no? Ganyan siya. Mano-mano, no? Mano-mano kung yung tool na yun. Pero if you want to, to know more about it, meron pa siyang simplify, object, path, and then meron siyang simplify. Yan. Tapos you can adjust using yung sa number of points. Yan. Yan o. Slightly nakikita mo nag-a-adjust siya. So, to the left is less points. To the right is more points. This one is auto-simplify. Okay. Yan. Ito siya. So, you have additional, options. But we cannot spend more time around this piece. Baka kasi overwhelming. Ang dami kasi. Ang dami pangyayari. You can do so many things. You have so many options in Adobe Illustrator. Ayan. Okay. But those are very good questions, and valid ones, definitely. You can, especially you're not kumbaga, we're all not in a hurry at the moment, no? In terms of getting into it and officially make money out of Adobe Illustrator or working with, sorry, yung aso namin, or working with a client right away, no? I think this is the right time. Take time, explore Adobe Illustrator's functions, no? From the basic, what we've learned here, then try to expand your toolbar and then try every single tool that's out there, no, to determine. It would also be nice to, you know, go through the menus on top and see what are the other things that that's available for you, no? Very useful din yung mga tutorials that's part of Adobe Illustrator din. Okay, good. So we will, all right. So we actually did, we're gonna skip this kasi we already demonstrated all the ways of applying the colors. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, this exercise. So this is applying colors exercise. So in our, let me make sure lang na I'm sharing the right screen. Okay. All right. So on my screen, I have applying color and text. So we're gonna do this exercise now, applying colors exercise. All right. So in our exercise, what we hope to achieve is this. Okay, this one. All right. So if we compare, all right, so etong circle shape, no, that's retained. No need to change anything there. This dashed line, no need to change anything here. Pero you want to, this is the one that you have, diba? Do you have a line? This one?
It's like blue. Without the broken lines.
It doesn't have the broken lines. Okay, so
Yeah, it's like a different version.
okay, and then that's good. I think I may have changed this. What about the lines here? What do you see on your end? Are they arrows? No.
It's an X, but there's no arrows. There's no tip.
There's no tip.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like an X.
Alright. So, let's just, siguro, ito yung nakikita niya. Let me see. Yeah. This might be what you're seeing. Yeah. This might be it. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, good. So, yung bigger circle, we don't do anything kasi looking at the picture, right? So, it's the same naman, so no need. And then this one, the smaller circle, you'll have to convert that into a dash. Okay, dashed line, no? Dashed line. And then, itong two lines here should be arrows, okay? Just like this one. All right. So let's take a look at the instructions. So the instructions are here on top. All right. So we need to select the dashed circle, no, in the results image and go to the control bar. So here, select this. Okay. Then go to the stroke panel on your control bar. Click here. So it expands. No? So ito na nakikita natin. Then let's take a look at the dashed lines. No? So ang weight is 1 point. So let's take a note of that. And then here it says dashed line. So make sure this is ticked. No? Take note of the values here. So 7 and 9. Yun ang sinabi, no? So let's write it down if necessary. So it's 7 and 9. Because we will copy that. Okay? So you scroll here, so start here, section, select that circle, the smaller one. Then let's go back to stroke, no? 1 point, retain natin. Click on the dashed line, right? And then, anong ilalagay natin value, sister?
7 and
7.
9.
Correct.
7
7 and 9. Correct. Okay. And that's it. No? So, tapos na tayo dito sa smaller circle. Now, this time, let's take a look at this 2 arrows that we see here. So, you can select one arrow. Kasi pareho naman sila, no? So, let's select one arrow and then go back to the stroke. Okay. So, it's not dashed. So, it's 2 points. It's not dashed. So, walang dashed line. Hindi natin ititik to. And then sa arrowheads, no, we choose arrow 14 dun sa left. And then choose arrow 18 sa right. So, this is your arrowhead. And then this is your tail. Okay, so that's arrow 14 for the arrowhead and then 18 for the tail. Okay, and no need to change anything else here. So, we scroll down and then select that line, both the lines actually, you can apply this. So, stroke, change the arrowhead to, ano sabi?
14.
14, correct.
left.
And then, for the tail,
18.
18.
18. Okay. So, do the same thing for the other, the other line. Or better yet, let me change the toolbar to basic para mas madali. Let's try the, ayaw din. So, ganun pa rin. Ganun pa rin pala. So, 14 and then 18. Yan. Okay. So, you can, if you want, kasi this will just take probably 2 minutes of your time. No, you may want to double check also the other options, like what happens when you change the scale. Ayun. So, if I increase the scale here, yung arrowhead becomes bigger. Ayan. You can change the scale of the arrowheads and the tails, no, separately. Pwede mong i-adjust yung scale nila. Pareho. Okay. Once you're done with this, so do you have any questions so far with this exercise? Simple, no? So it's just getting you guys acclimated with the stroke panel. That's it. Okay, so that's the objective of this exercise. Okay. The second exercise is copying this. Okay. So on your screen with the chick, dun sa start here, what do you see? Just plain white?
Right chip. Oh, yeah.
Just plain white lang siguro. Probably like this. Is this how you see yours? Parang black and white lang.
Outline.
Okay, so the same ano lang, outline. Okay. So it's just this. Tama ba?
Yeah, there's no fill. Yeah.
There's no fill. Okay. Okay, there's no fill. All right. So you will apply a gradient. Okay. So to apply a gradient, what do we do? So select, let's say yung head first, no? The head first. Okay. Okay. So let's do this. All right. So we'll just follow the instructions. So make sure to open the gradient panel. So I have the gradient panel open. Okay. Then select the chicken head and apply the white-black gradient from the swatches panel. Okay. So I select this. All right. And then I can choose this one. No, white-black 2. All right. Now, we need to match the color, right? So, change the colors of the gradient. Now, yung black to white, we'll change it to blue to white, okay, or cyan, all right? So while the object is selected, go to the gradients panel, all right? So we'll do this, okay? So let me just minimize the webcam. It's this one. So what we do is select this, no? Ito yung gradient, ano natin, gradient panel, okay? This is white, that's fine. This one will change to cyan, okay? So what you can do is double click on this button, all right? And then change this to cyan. CMYK cyan. Ayan, that's it. So this gradient panel, all right, allows you to adjust your gradients, okay, or make changes to your gradient. So for example, at this moment, that the gradient type is set to linear gradient, okay. What if I click on this one? What will happen? Okay, so this is radial. So from the center, you know, pabilog. All right, and then you have free form gradient. Okay, yan. All right, for us it's linear. Not responding na. So yan. So for us it's linear. Okay, it's linear. And then etong sliders natin allows you to control how it transitions the colors, no? Ayan. Okay. So, cats, can we still add more colors to it? Yes, you can. So, when you mouse over just underneath the slider, no, you'll see there's a plus sign dun sa cursor ko. So, if I click on that, it adds this button. And that would allow you to add another color. Yeah? Tapos, adjust mo ulit. Okay. If you don't want this, click here. All right. And it removes that button for you. So you can add multiple buttons. If you want more control when it comes to applying your gradient. So you can change this color, double click on it, select a different color. This one naman, let's another color. This one naman, another color. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me delete this. So from black to white, we chose black, we double click, and then look for the cyan, CMYK cyan. So yan siya. Now you want to change the direction of your gradient where yung blue is on top and then medyo nag-go white dun sa dulo. Okay. So, you can use the gradient tool. No? Click, drag, from white to, ano pala yan, blue. So, do the other, yung different direction. Yan. So, ayan na siya. Okay. So, for the, I'm not sure if this is the nose or the mouth, but you do the same thing, no? So, if you need to change this to black to white, ayan siya. Okay. When I made some adjustments here, no, I noticed that I did not follow the stroke. So I select this, and then what is the stroke width? Sister, where can I find the stroke width para makopya ko
upper.
siya?
Upper side.
Correct. So on the control bar, you'll see beside the word stroke, it tells me na it's 5 points. So
5
make sure lang, yes. So you make sure lang na you select the object if you want to copy something. No? So 5 points para alam mo. Then select this, and then I'll just change this to 5 points. Okay. So do the same thing then for this. I think it's a sweat drop or a teardrop. Not sure. So you do the same thing for the teardrop, no? And then after that, you may save your file. Let me open my gradient panel. Teka, let me share my screen first. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Alright, so gradient mesh na tayo. Let me minimize the webcam. Okay, so let me open my gradient panel, no? So, in older versions, wala tong freeform. This freeform also pertains to the gradient mesh. Okay, that's why I did not demonstrate this. Okay, but supposedly, difference between the two is this. Okay, so okay, so if you apply a gradient, no, and then you mainly have two ways of applying a gradient, whether it's linear, so or radial. You now have the option for free-form gradient, but that's basically gradient mesh. It's a shortcut to the gradient mesh. So isa yung direction niya. Okay. You can apply colors. You can add colors to it. Okay, let's see how it works. And if you applied a radial gradient, it follows the suit, no, or the pattern na radial lahat ng colors na yun. Whereas, if it's a gradient mesh, under the gradient tool, we'll use the mesh tool. Okay, so I can create non-printable mesh, no? Yeah, non-printable mesh. That would allow me to apply colors on specific points. Okay? So, ito yung free-form gradient. Okay? So, I have, let's say, I use the direct selection tool, no? I click on a point, no? So, this point is selected. Let me zoom in. So, this point is selected, whereas the rest are white points. No? Ibig sabihin, they're not selected. So, if I click here, and I choose a color. So, let me move my, I'll close this because I don't need that anymore. So, if I choose a point here and select red, okay, ayan siya. Okay, so it applied the red color on that particular point. So, the point of concentration of the color is here on the selected point. Okay? And it's controlled or restricted within this bounding box. Okay? Ito yung sa kanya, nagre-restrict sa kanya. Okay? So, if I click here, all right? If I click in the middle without clicking on a single point, all right, what it does is it basically selects 1, 2, 3 points. If you zoom in, no, it's solid boxes or points. So it means that it's selected, but the rest are white, no? Yun lang, ito lang ang painful talaga sa Illustrator is masyado siyang maliliit. Okay, and then I select yellow. Okay, so yung point of concentration or yung concentration ng color is within these 4 points. And this outer box restricts the color. So nagta-transition siya, nagiging faded siya up to this point. Okay. Dito rin pumapasok yung lasso tool. So let's say I want to select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no? So this point, pa L, no? Inverted or reverse L, okay? So if I use the direct selection, how does it select? Ano yung behavior niya? Click, drag, okay. You click, drag, and it creates a rectangular shape. Hindi naman kasi, hindi kayang sakupin ng rectangular shape. Kasi pa-L yung gusto natin. Dito papasok sa lasso tool. So, you can click, drag over all the points in L shape. yung reverse na L shape. And it selects just those points. And then we click on green. Yan, no? So, ito yung point of concentration ng colors mo. Okay. And if we do a control Y, okay, look at how it looks like. Okay. So, these are paths, but they're not non-printable, but they are paths. So, what does that mean to you? Okay, or to us? What does that mean to us? Okay, so it means that they are editable. So, let's say I use the direct selection tool, click on this point, move it here. I can do that. Okay, I can click on this point, move it upward. No, I can do that. Okay, so editable siya. Although, hindi siya nagbe-behave like a normal object where you can apply a stroke. Can I try applying a stroke? Let's try, no? And see what happens. So let me double click here and then change this to red. Yan. See? It doesn't apply because it's a gradient mesh. So yun yung limitation niya. No, even if you see in the outline na it's a path, you cannot apply a stroke to it because it's a gradient mesh. Let's take a look at the layers because it will also tell you what kind of object it is. Yan. Okay, so I have this blue box here. It means na it's the selected object. So it's actually a mesh. So again, Illustrator identifies that this path is a mesh. So it won't allow you to apply a stroke color to it. Alright. Questions so far? None? Okay. So yung mga realistic, no, there are some artists, especially in Japan, and ang dami-daming gumagawa ng almost 3D, 3D or parang vector portraiture na akala mo totoong-totoo yung picture na yun. Parang realistic yung effect niya, no? Ang dami yung mga Japanese graphic designers. They maximize the use of gradient mesh in Adobe Illustrator to be able to achieve this look. Simply because you have more control over how colors transition. Okay. As opposed to simply applying a gradient swatch. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. Okay, there are other ways of managing it. I think in the advanced class, the exercises you're going to create an actual tire, a 3D tire. But another way of creating a gradient mesh, no? You select the object, go to object, and then choose gradient, create gradient mesh. Dito, very controlled, no? May pattern siya. So let me click on preview. You can set the number of rows, you can set the number of columns. Okay, and then click OK. And then from this point, using the direct selection tool, you can click on a point, apply a color. Okay. Okay. Click on a point, apply a color. Yan. Click on another point, apply a color. Okay. Or click here. So it selects 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Change the color to yellow. Ganun siya. Okay. Alright. Yan. Now, what if nagkamali ka? So, you created this gradient mesh. Okay, so let me close my, alright. Yan. So, there are certain lines that you don't like. Okay, so using the gradient mesh, no, when you mouse over an area, no, your cursor, notice na it has a plus sign. So when you click, it creates a line or part of a mesh, no, added to the object. Okay, so click here, you add ulit. Click here, you add ulit. Okay. Now, what if you want to do the opposite? May mga certain lines kang gustong tanggalin. So, hold down Alt. No? When you mouse over a point, the cursor changes to a minus sign. No? You see a minus sign. So, click, it removes it. Hold down here, click, it removes that. Ayan siya. Alright. Okay. Question so far?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Alright. Okay. So, if there are any questions, then we can proceed to the exercise. So, your objective is to create a leaf. Okay. That looks like this. Simple lang. Just so you can get a feel of how the gradient mesh works. Okay. So, you follow this. You follow this. All right. Now, first step, no, I'll just walk through this. No. So, the first step is we'll create an oval shape. You already have a guide there, so it should be restricted within the bounds of that blue rectangular shape. This one. No, so, ito. So, you restrict it here. Sorry, kasi naka-mouse ako. Ayan. Okay. So, yan. Within that. No? So, okay. So, I create this. Alright. And then, we'll change the color to a solid color lang. So, let's change this to green. CMYK green. Okay. Then, the next step is we will start adding, okay, we will start adding the, let's move it here. Okay. We will start adding the mesh. Okay, adding the mesh. So let's move here. So it tells me na I have to have 3 lines down here, no? Pag dito. So let me annotate. So ang mesh natin should be 1, 2, 3. Ganyan siya, ha? And then 1, 2, 3. So we will mimic na dapat ang mesh natin will have this result. 1, 2.
Oh, wait, Miss Kat.
Yes.
Question. What tool are you using?
Oh, I'm annotating lang. I'm using the
Oh,
Zoom.
okay. Oh.
Just
Oh,
so
okay,
I can show you how to draw the lines, no?
Okay.
So, okay. Here, 1, 2, 3. So, our objective is create a gradient mesh that will follow this red stroke. Okay, so yan. So, you have 3 going down here, then 3 of each now. So, tatlong sets of this. Okay. Kasi, what we want to do is, let me clear my, clear all my drawings now. What we want to achieve is this. Okay. Look at this, no? Ayan, no? 3. Ayan.
Yes.
3. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, ito siya. Okay.
Okay.
So, we will do this. Alright. So, using my gradient mesh, no, I will start in the middle. Here, and then here. Okay. Do the same thing here. Do the same thing here. Okay. So, if I take a look at this, no, may isang ganyan and then tatlo. Bakit tatlo? Why do we need to create 3 lines in the gradient mesh? Maylord, why do you think we need 3 lines in a gradient mesh to be able to achieve this part?
Para po sa ano, multiple colors.
Sa multiple colors, yes. What else? Sister Pinky, why do you think kailangan tatlo yung lines?
So that there will be a bigger scope of color.
Can be
The color would be spread if there are 3 lines. The gradient color, at least it would have
restrictions.
yeah, a bigger, and then I mean it would at least within those 3 lines it would
Restrict. Control the color.
mm,
Yun yung point, no? Bakit tatlo siya? Simply because you want the outer lines. Let's say if we're talking about this 3, no? 1, 2, 3. What you want to do is control the color na magsa-stop siya dito. Dun sa outer lines, okay? That's why it's always 3. Okay. Now we start coloring because I already have it set up like this. Okay. So we'll start coloring. Now for me to start coloring, ang kailangan ko is the lasso tool because I will try to apply the color here, okay, in the middle. So click, drag over the 3 points in the middle, okay? And then when you have that, then you would want your, shift up, okay? You would want to apply a color to it. Ayan siya, okay? So again, you apply the color to this 3 points, and this outer lines in your gradient mesh restricts it para hindi sumabog yung kulay. It restricts it in place. Okay? So you do the same, parang it's almost like a cross, no? Yung selection mo should be across, pababa, and then pataas. Okay. So, apply a color. Ayan siya. Right? And then do the same here. No? So, let me annotate lang. No? So, it should be this and this that you select with the lasso tool. Okay? So, let me clear. So, yung laging gagamitin natin. Close this. Okay. So, select this. You can hold down shift para multiple yung selection mo and then choose yan. Siguro lighter. Yan. Brighter siya. Okay. Now, click, drag ulit. And then, apply a color. Yan. Ay, kalimutan ko itong isa. Apply a color. Yan. Ayan. So, may kulang tayo isa dito. Okay. There. Alright. So, is it the same? Medyo, almost there, right? So, ayan siya. So, again, why 3 lines? Those 2 outer lines will serve as your boundary, yes. Or it will limit the color from spreading, stopping the color from spreading. Okay. So, now, you would want to move, no? Parang pag ganun ang movement niya. So, parang pag ganun. Dapat pag ganun siya, right? Okay. So, using the the lasso tool, I can do that, no? So, I can select all 9. I can select all 9 points, no? Ito, all this box, no? And then you can use the arrow keys to do that. Bababa.
Okay.
What did you do?
Oo.
What did you use?
Ano sister? So let me do it here. Okay. So using the lasso tool, because it allows you to to create a selection freehand, no?
Mm.
While these points are selected, use the arrow keys po. Just
Okay.
hit down.
Mm.
Ganyan. Okay. Click all 9 and then do that. Yan. There you go. This one pa. Yan. Okay. You can even select all 12 points. Ito. You can do that. And then just press down. Or press up. You can press up.
Ayun.
Ay, may naiwan. I left some points down there. Okay. Yan. All right. Okay. Questions so far? Okay. So, text in Illustrator. How do we add text to our artwork? We will need these tools. No? So, you have the letter T, no, as an icon. That's your indicator for the type tool. So, we two ways of applying a text using this tool. You have a point type. Pag sinabing point type, guys, you just click on a blank space and then start typing. Just like what we did with the number 8 in the billiard ball, right? So that's our first exposure to type. Okay. So using the selection tool, just like any other object, no, you can resize it. All right. Now, what if I need to change or I prefer a different font? Okay. So to change the font, again, you have to tell Illustrator na you want to change this text. No? So you have to select it. And then on top of your screen, no, where your control bar is, you will see this. No? Ito naman, it will show you that the object that's selected is actually a type or text. And then you have your color, no? So ito siya, your fill color. If you want to add stroke to it, you're allowed to do that. If you want to change the stroke width, you're also allowed to do that. Just like any other object that we create in Illustrator, right? So meron kang fill, meron kang stroke. So even for text, you can do the same thing. You can apply it. If I want to change the font, I have the drop-down menu over here, which has a WYSIWYG. So what you see is what you get. So you get to see the preview, no, of how it would look like, no? Yan. All right. So you can mouse over, no? You can wala. Okay, yan. You can mouse over and see how it's going to apply to your text, no? Meron kang makitang arrow dito, it means na there are also special styles, no, or additional styles that you can choose under that font. So you can, let's say we choose italic. Ayan, a-apply siya. On top of this drop-down menu, no, Illustrator makes your life complicated. Complicated talaga. Again, there are many ways of accessing the font, no? So you have your drop-down menu here where you have your WYSIWYG. You also can click on this. Pag may mga nakikita tayong menu like this, no, na merong dashed line underneath, it means that you can expand it. It's a character panel. Okay, so here, when you click on the character panel, that link, no, it expands to the character panel. And this will also give you the drop-down menu for the fonts. Okay, now under window, you also have the type, type panels, no? Different kinds of type panels. So you have character styles, you have the glyphs, open type features, paragraph styles, paragraph styles, and tabs. Okay, so you can open this, no, and you get additional options then na you can choose from. This one is almost the same as what you see over here. No, yeah. So again, multiple ways of accessing the font. No, under type menu, dito rin. Under the type menu, makikita mo rin yung list of fonts that are installed in your computer. Okay. And it's not responding. Okay. Medyo nag-freeze lang ng a bit. Done. Okay. So you have the list of fonts here. The recent fonts that were used in the existing file. Font size you can change here. Or you can also change the font size over here. Okay, you can type in the values. No, you're not restricted to the drop-down menu or the presets. All right. You also have the font style here. No, depending on the font that you choose. No, depending. All right. Okay. All right. So again, that is point type. Okay. So the other way of applying fonts is when you click drag. That's called an area type. Okay, when you create an area type, no, when you resize the bounding box, wala, no, it doesn't resize the font, right? Unlike kapag if you simply click on an area, when you resize, it resizes the text. Okay, so this is called a point type. This is called an area type. Okay, so let's say Sister Pinky, no? How do you think area type is used? Or maybe you can give us examples when area type is the better choice.
When you are writing a document, that does not need to be bounded, in a long document, for example.
Correct. So long documents, that's all text, no, articles, no,
Yes.
na you need to control lang the space where the article will fit in, but you
Yes.
don't necessarily need to resize the entire article. And the advantage of this is, for example, no, let me move somewhere else. Okay, so if I have let's change the font size now to 20. Yan. Okay. So if I have, wait. There, okay. So if I have an area type, okay, all right, and then I have added a particular space, no, for example, this one, all right. Okay, now with area type, way back, we call it type container, no? Type container kasi it contains text. Okay, it contains text. So this small box will always appear, no? So itong white box, no? Normally on the lower right-hand side of a type container. Click that. Sorry. Let me resize this now. Ayan. Okay. So, if I resize this, no, you'll see this small white box. So, small white box, no? And it has a plus sign. It means that there are hidden text pa. Okay? So, click on that box, no? My cursor changed, no? Yung cursor natin nagbago, parang may mga lines, right? There's rows, a bunch of rows, right? It means that you have hidden text, no? Now I can move that to a different location, or I want to continue it just like in a magazine or newspaper. Let's say you have the headline news, and then diba, at the bottom bitin yung article, it doesn't really show you the entire article. So instead it will mention like please continue to page 25, ganon. So you can move this to a different location. Okay. So let me try that again. Okay. Let's zoom in. Medyo tricky lang siya. Ayan. Click, drag. Okay. So it continues. Ayan o. And then you can resize. So a single article may have multiple area types, no? And it will continue. So let's say I deleted, let's say the first paragraph, no? Pansinin nyo, the second part or the second container, nag-adjust siya,
Yeah.
right? So it continues, no? What's great about this is this feature, no? Let's say I delete it. It goes back to this container. You'll see a plus sign. Ibig sabihin, meron pang hidden text that's not being displayed yet. Okay? There's still a portion of your article. So let's say you have this shape, no? Kasi may mga designs ka dito, for example, and you want to restrict the continuation, no, of the text from your article here. Okay? So what I'll do is click on that plus sign again. Okay? I'll be mindful of the cursor. Kailangan may mga rows, may mga lines siya doon, no? It means na you've captured the hidden text. And then I mouse over this shape. Okay? So let me zoom in. Okay, mouse over, no? So ganyan na itsura niya. Focus on my cursor, ah. When I mouse over here, anong nangyari? Sophia, did you notice my cursor changed? Yes, but look at the icon. From this to here. Did you notice the difference?
The parenthesis.
Correct. Okay. So that's
okay.
very
Yeah.
important, no? The parentheses. Okay. So I'll click here, and it's moved it continued the article.
Yeah.
And restricted it within that shape, no? So you converted this circular shape into a container, a type container. Okay. Or area type. Okay. So yun yung maganda sa kanya. Alright? And is this something that you can still edit? Let's see if it works. No? Let's say I select this point. Can I still edit this point using the direct selection? Yes. Diba? Very nice. Okay. Okay. So you can do so much with the text here. Okay. So those are the advantages of area type versus point type, where basta when you click, no? When you click, pang resize lang. Most of the time yan. Pang resize lang. Madali lang instead of typing in the values, then you can just resize with a bounding box. So yun yung advantage mo for point type. Okay, so what are the other type tools that we have under basic? Okay, so you have type on path and then vertical type tool. So again, if you want to add text, look for the letter T on your toolbar. Underneath, you can expand to type on path and vertical type. If you're in advanced toolbar, you'll have more options. Pero halos ganun din naman. Konting variation lang. So, let's demonstrate the vertical type. So, parang more pababa lang naman siya. Catherine Chrysostom. Yan. Yan lang yun. Vertical. So, resize natin. Yan. Okay. So, that's your vertical. Now, type on path is different. No? So, what we've seen so far with area type is it puts the text inside. Right? And what if you want the text around, no? Around this shape. Okay? Around the shape. So, if let's say you created a path. Okay. Alright. Okay. Escape. Alright. Let me remove the fill. And then you click on type on path. Let's see what happens. Okay. You don't see it. Ang liit kasi ng font. So let me change the font to set. Let me type it to 100. Ayan. So it follows the path. Ayan. So you can continue typing in something. So it will follow the path. Okay. So for certificates, for example, no. So let's say yung mga below. Okay. Alright. And then click on type on path. Click here. Yan. So it will allow you to type along the path. So any paths, simple paths that you create in Adobe Illustrator, you can do that. Okay. So for our exercise, okay. Hold on. Let me switch. So our exercise, wala yung aking, ayun pala, naka-zoom out kasi ako. Ayan. Where am I? Where am I? Ayan. Okay. There. So, first exercise, applying text level 1, no? So, applying text level 1. Our objective is to get acclimated or be familiar with the type tool. So, first is, if we take a look at this, no, we'll have to add yung designs made simple. So, we're just gonna add two set of texts. Two sets of text. So, the designs made simple. And then let us market your business. So you just have to type it, okay? So this one uses point type, and this one uses area type. Okay. So again, the type tool. No? So we'll use this. Designs. Ano ba sabi niya? Designs made simple. Okay. So how do I know what font? Actually, in the instructions there, we use Impact. That's on number 2. Okay. We use Impact. Okay. So we'll change the font to Impact. So we can do this, no? Use the drop down. And then look for Impact. Or hit I on the keyboard. Pwede din actually yung buo na type mo. Ayan. That's it to set. Okay. Now, we want to follow this color, no? Follow this color. So, we can use the eyedropper tool. Okay. Then, let's try to resize it. Let's see if there are instructions on resizing. None. Okay. So, we'll just resize it using the bounding box. Yeah. Okay. The next is you'll have to copy this. Okay, this one. All right. So we'll just use the type tool again and then click drag naman this time. And then start typing, copying this. Okay, so it should be that simple lang. It's just to get you guys acclimated with the type tool and how to change the font. Okay. All right. The next exercise is there's two parts of this exercise now, so we'll have to extend a bit. Okay. Do you guys want to do this exercise first before I proceed to the second level? More or less, I've already demonstrated. Very, very simple lang. I demonstrated it earlier. No, we're going to use the applying text level 2 file. Okay, you have two exercises here. This one will be your take-home assignment. No, so we'll focus on this one. But either way, we're gonna demonstrate this before we end the session. Okay, now. During our first exercise and even my demonstration, so far, ang na-cover natin was the type tool, just the use of the type tool. Okay. In this exercise, what I demonstrated was yung type on path. Okay. So here, all you have to do is click on that big yellow circle. Okay. Big yellow circle. Change the font to Arial black based on number 3. So Arial black. Okay. And then change the font size daw dito to 24. Okay. And then type Bobby's. Bobby's campfire. Okay. That's it, no? Ang difference is, look at this, no? Align siya in the center, right? When you have your type on path, no, selected, okay, you will see this, okay? Look for this inverted letter T. T for tango, no? Itong line na to. Okay, when you mouse over that, your cursor changes to this. Click drag. No, it allows you to adjust the text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yan. Or you can rotate para mas madali. Yan na lang.
Okay.
Yan. It's easier pa. No, pero it's there. I just wanted to show you na itong inverted T is there to allow you to adjust it or make it inside, no? Pwedeng pababa, right? So you can do that. All right? But that's the only thing that you will do in this exercise.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the other exercise, let me just demonstrate now. If I have cats, no, I click on a blank space. Click here now. I'll just type cats. Okay. All right. Type cats. Okay. All right. When I can do a control Y, that's how it looks like. No, I do a control Y. No, ganyan lang siya. When you try, if you want to edit this, no, using the tools that we have, like the pen tool. You want to cut it, you want to merge shapes, you would want to convert it to outline. Okay, and to do that, you have to select the text. Okay, type, go to type, and then create outlines, or shift command or control O. Okay, yan. Pag ganyan siya, this is how it looks like. It converted to path. Okay. So, anong limitation nun? Once you have converted your text into outlines, you will no longer be able to edit the text using this tool. Let's say nagkaroon ka ng wrong spelling.
Mhm.
You cannot redo it unless you type the entire word altogether. So basically, it converts your text into path, and that's the time that you can start editing as if you're editing an object. Okay, so again, that command is creating outlines. So be careful lang ha. Ako, ang practice ko lagi is always create a duplicate and then work on a duplicate. So select the duplicate, tapos go to type, and then create outline. Okay, so your challenge in this exercise is from this text, you try and change it to this. Okay. So, okay. So, if you'll notice, we'll need letter U here, under N. So, ito will move here, down. So, I'll choose, choose this. And then, Shift, Control, O. Okay, to convert it to outline. So, looking at this, you have N. But the U is moved down here. So, I'll move this. Okay, sorry. I'll move this letter U. Okay. It's grouped. Wait. Let me ungroup this first. Move it here. Okay, what's next? We move letter M. So, let's move this here. Okay. Then, it's stretched, no? It's stretched. So, I can zoom in, using the direct selection tool. Select the points at the bottom. Ito, 1, 2, 3, 4 points. At the bottom of letter M. And then, use your arrow keys. Go down. Okay, what else? And then yung O. Right? So, this is retained. And then yung itong letter O. Ito naman, you stretch it up. Okay? So, using the direct selection, choose naman the points that's on top of letter O. No? They are solid color, so ibig sabihin they're selected. And then use your arrow keys, yung up key. No? And move it. Yan. So you already have a really nice logo or text. Right? So again, the key is type, select the type, and then create outlines. Okay, so that's the key here. But this is your working assignment. Okay, so this is your working assignment. So kindly turn it in na lang once you're done with this. But I'd focus on this. Okay, so for the next 5 minutes, just try that. Okay,